The Vatican's deepest secret is no longer hidden. The third prophecy of Fatima, kept under wraps for nearly a century, is now manifesting in our world, and it's more terrifying than anyone expected. From the halls of power to your own backyard, the impact of this revelation is sending shockwaves through society. Are you ready to face the truth that's been concealed for generations? In 1917, as World War I raged across Europe, 3 young shepherd children in the small Portuguese village of Fatima experienced something extraordinary. Lucia dos Santos and her cousins, Francisco and Jacinta Marto, claimed to have encountered a radiant lady who appeared to them in a field. This event would become one of the most significant Marian apparitions in Catholic history, forever changing the course of the Church and captivating the world's attention. The historical context of the Fatima apparitions is crucial to understanding their impact. Portugal, like much of Europe, was in turmoil. The country had only recently become a republic, and anti-clerical sentiment was running high. The world was engulfed in a devastating war, and the Russian Revolution was about to reshape global politics. It was against this backdrop of uncertainty and upheaval that the Virgin Mary chose to deliver her message. The children reported that the mysterious lady, whom they later identified as the Virgin Mary, appeared to them on the 13th day of each month from May to October 1917. These encounters were not merely spiritual experiences, they were accompanied by phenomena witnessed by thousands of onlookers. The most famous of these was the Miracle of the Sun, where an estimated 70,000 people claimed to see the sun dance in the sky, an event that defied natural explanation and convinced many skeptics. As word of the apparitions spread, so did the controversy surrounding them. The local authorities, suspicious of religious fervor, even went so far as to imprison the children temporarily. But the children's unwavering testimony and the growing crowds of believers made it impossible to dismiss their claims outright. The Virgin Mary entrusted the children with 3 secrets, and it's here that the story takes a turn towards the mysterious. While the first 2 secrets were revealed relatively quickly, the third was shrouded in secrecy, sealed away by the Vatican for decades. This decision to keep the final secret hidden fueled speculation and controversy that would last for generations. The impact of Fatima on Catholic faith cannot be overstated. The apparitions reinvigorated Marian devotion and sparked a renewal of faith in many parts of the world. Pilgrims flocked to Fatima by the millions, seeking healing, guidance, and a connection to the divine. The message of Fatima, with its emphasis on prayer, penance, and consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, became a cornerstone of Catholic spirituality in the 20th century. As for the content of the first 2 secrets, they proved to be prophetic in nature. The first secret was a terrifying vision of hell, which the Virgin Mary showed to the children as a warning to humanity. The second secret predicted the end of World War I, but warned of a greater conflict to come if people did not turn back to God. It also foretold the spread of communism from Russia, a prediction that seemed unlikely in 1917 but would prove chillingly accurate in the decades to come. The fulfillment of these first 2 secrets only intensified interest in the third. What could be so earth-shattering that the Vatican felt compelled to keep it hidden? Speculation ran wild, with theories ranging from predictions of nuclear war to warnings of a great apostasy within the Church itself. As the 20th century progressed and the predicted events of the first 2 secrets came to pass, the pressure to reveal the third secret grew. But the Vatican held firm, insisting that the time was not yet right for its disclosure. This secrecy only served to heighten the sense of anticipation and dread surrounding the final message of Fatima. The story of Fatima, with its mix of the miraculous and the prophetic, continues to captivate believers and skeptics alike. But as we peel back the layers of this divine warning, we find that the most shocking revelations may still lie ahead. For while the first two secrets have been unveiled and fulfilled, the third secret remained hidden for decades, its contents a mystery that would haunt the Church and the world for generations to come. Imagine a secret so powerful it could potentially reshape the very foundations of the Catholic faith. For decades, the Vatican guarded such a secret, sparking wild speculation and controversy. But what if the truth behind this mystery was even more astounding than anyone dared to imagine? The Vatican's decision to keep the Third Secret of Fatima hidden was not taken lightly. Church officials believed that revealing its contents prematurely could cause panic among the faithful and lead to dangerous speculation. This air of secrecy, however, only served to fuel the fires of curiosity and conspiracy theories that would burn for over half a century. The intrigue deepened when Pope John XXIII, upon reading the secret in 1960, chose not to reveal it to the world. This decision, made despite expectations that the secret would be disclosed that year, left many wondering what could be so sensitive that even the Pope felt it should remain hidden. Cardinal Ratzinger, who would later become Pope Benedict XVI, hinted at the reasoning behind this choice. He suggested that the text was highly symbolic and required proper historical context to be fully understood. Without this context, he argued, releasing the secret would only lead to misinterpretation and unfounded speculation. As the years passed, conflicting statements from church officials added to the mystery surrounding the third secret. Some hinted at apocalyptic predictions that could shake the foundations of faith, while others, including Cardinal Ratzinger himself, downplayed its significance. Ratzinger emphasized that the secret was not a prophecy of future events, but rather a reflection on past struggles of the Church. This discrepancy in interpretations only intensified public interest and led to countless theories about what the secret might contain. The Vatican's insistence on keeping the secret under wraps until 2000 was rooted in the belief that time was needed for historical events to unfold. This would provide the necessary context for a clearer understanding of the secret's meaning. Cardinal Ratzinger later explained that presenting an undecipherable image to the public earlier would have created nothing but speculation, reinforcing the idea that timing was crucial in revealing this mysterious message. Throughout the decades of silence, the hidden text became a source of intense speculation and controversy. Theories ranged from predictions of nuclear war to warnings of a great apostasy within the Church. Some even suggested that the secret foretold the assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II in 1981. The lack of official information allowed imaginations to run wild, and the Third Secret of Fatima became one of the most discussed and debated topics in modern Catholic history. Finally, on June 26, 2000, the Vatican officially released the text of the Third Secret. The revelation was met with mixed reactions. Many were surprised to find that the secret contained a symbolic vision rather than a clear-cut prophecy. It described a bishop dressed in white who was killed by soldiers, along with other clergy and lay people. The Vatican interpreted this as a reference to the 1981 assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II. However, the long-awaited disclosure did not put an end to the controversy. Some critics argued that the Vatican's version downplayed the severity of the warnings given at Fatima. Others questioned whether the full text had truly been revealed, suggesting that there might be more to the secret than what was officially presented. As the dust settled on this momentous revelation, a new question began to emerge in the minds of many believers and skeptics alike. Was the full secret really revealed, or does the Vatican still hold a piece of this prophetic puzzle, waiting for the right moment to share it with the world? A vision of a bishop dressed in white falling under gunfire captivated the world's attention. This haunting image, central to the Third Secret of Fatima, has become one of the most debated and analyzed aspects of the prophecy. But what if this enigmatic vision held the key to unlocking the true meaning of Fatima's third secret? The answer may be more shocking than anyone imagined. The official text of the Third Secret, as released by the Vatican in 2000, described a powerful and symbolic vision. It spoke of a bishop dressed in white, laboriously making his way through a ruined city. Surrounded by the bodies of the faithful, he climbs a steep mountain, only to be killed by soldiers firing bullets and arrows. This vivid imagery sparked intense speculation and debate among believers and scholars alike. The Vatican's interpretation of this vision focused on a specific historical event, the 1981 assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II. This connection seemed to be reinforced by the Pope himself, who famously declared that one hand fired the shot but another guided the bullet, attributing his survival to the intervention of Our Lady of Fatima. The timing of the attack, which occurred on May 13th, the anniversary of the first Fatima apparition, added weight to this interpretation. However, many experts and faithful have proposed alternative interpretations of the bishop in white vision. Some suggest that it may not represent a single individual or event, but rather symbolize the collective suffering of the Church and its leaders throughout the 20th century. This broader interpretation aligns with the idea that the secret reflects ongoing struggles within the Church, rather than predicting a single specific incident. Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, who would later become Pope Benedict XVI, offered a nuanced perspective during the 2000 press conference revealing the Third Secret. He emphasized that the text is highly symbolic and open to various interpretations. Ratzinger suggested that the vision represents the struggles of the Church and doesn't necessarily predict a specific assassination attempt. Instead, it reflects a broader spiritual battle facing the faithful. The symbolism within the secret is rich with meaning and open to analysis. The image of the bishop passing through a city in ruins has been interpreted as a metaphor for the spiritual desolation affecting both the Church and the world at large. This powerful imagery serves as a call to action for the faithful, emphasizing the need for penance and conversion in the face of widespread spiritual decay. Experts have also noted that the symbolism of the bishop in white and the accompanying scenes of destruction may reflect internal struggles within the Church. These could include doctrinal confusion and the challenges posed by increasing secularism, themes that align with the broader message of crisis and renewal present in the Fatima prophecies. Perhaps one of the most striking elements of the vision is the angel with a flaming sword. This powerful image has been interpreted as a warning of divine judgment and an urgent call for repentance. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of sin and the critical need for spiritual vigilance in these tumultuous times. As we delve deeper into the Third Secret of Fatima, we're left with a profound question. What shocking revelations does this prophecy truly contain? The answer may lie not in a single event or person, but in the ongoing spiritual battle that continues to unfold before our eyes. The vision of the bishop in white serves as a powerful reminder of the challenges facing the Church and the world, and the urgent need for faith, prayer, and conversion. Yet as we grapple with the meaning of this enigmatic vision, many believe there's more to the story. Could the full extent of the Third Secret still be hidden, waiting to be revealed at the appointed time? While the Third Secret captivated the world, a shadow of doubt lingers. Could there be more to the Fatima prophecies than meets the eye? Some claim that a fourth secret exists, a message so controversial that it threatens to shake the very foundations of the Church. What shocking truths might this hidden text contain? The theory of a fourth secret of Fatima has gained traction among believers and scholars alike. This controversial idea suggests that the Vatican has withheld a crucial part of the Fatima prophecy, an additional text that could potentially reshape our understanding of the Church's future. But what evidence supports such a bold claim? At the heart of this theory lies the belief that Our Lady provided explanatory words to accompany the symbolic vision of the third secret. These words, some argue, could contain dire warnings about the Church's internal struggles or even criticize decisions made during the Second Vatican Council. The absence of such explanatory text in the official release has fueled speculation that the Vatican chose to withhold this potentially explosive information. Adding weight to these claims are statements attributed to Pope John XXIII's personal secretary, Loris Capovilla. While never confirming the contents of a fourth secret, Capovilla allegedly affirmed the hypothesis of its existence, sending shockwaves through the community of Fatima scholars and devotees. Such testimony from a high-ranking church insider has only intensified the debate surrounding the completeness of the Vatican's disclosure. Further fueling the controversy are the words of Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, later Pope Benedict XVI, during the presentation of the Third Secret in 2000. Ratzinger indicated that the text was symbolic and open to interpretation, suggesting that the full meaning of the vision would only become clear as historical events unfolded. This statement has led some to speculate that the Church is waiting for the right moment to reveal additional information, perhaps contained in a fourth secret. One of the most prominent voices in this debate was Father Alonso, a respected authority on Fatima. He suggested that the unpublished portion of the Third Secret likely addresses a crisis of faith within the Church and the negligence of its leaders. The absence of such themes in the released text has led many to question whether the full message has truly been revealed. The theory of a fourth secret also points to discrepancies in the official narrative. Proponents argue that church officials may have employed a mental reservation, a concept where two texts exist, one descriptive, the vision, and one explanatory, the alleged fourth secret. They claim that the controversial nature of the explanatory text has led to its continued suppression. However, it's important to note that the Vatican has consistently denied the existence of any additional secret. In 2016, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI explicitly stated that all relevant texts had been published, directly contradicting the ongoing theories of a cover-up. Despite these denials, the speculation persists, with many arguing that the 2000 release left critical elements unaddressed, particularly regarding the Church's internal struggles. As we grapple with the possibility of a fourth secret, we're left with a profound question. Is there truly a hidden message from Fatima that the Church has yet to reveal? The implications of such a secret could be earth-shattering, potentially reshaping our understanding of the Church's role in the modern world and the challenges it faces from within. Whether fact or fiction, the fourth secret theory continues to captivate the imagination of believers and skeptics alike, reminding us that the full story of Fatima may still hold surprises in store. As we ponder the possibility of hidden messages, a stark reality emerges from the shadows of prophecy. Could the third secret of Fatima have predicted a time when faith itself would be under attack? The signs are all around us, and they're more alarming than anyone could have imagined. The concept of a prophesied crisis within the Catholic Church isn't new, but its relevance today is undeniable. Cardinal Ratzinger, who would later become Pope Benedict XVI, hinted at this troubling future back in 1984. He suggested that the third secret of Fatima concerned dangers to the faith, including a doctrinal apostasy that strikes at the very heart of Christian beliefs. This apostasy, he warned, could involve denying fundamental truths such as the divinity of Jesus Christ and the real presence in the Eucharist. Evidence of internal conflicts and doctrinal disputes within the Church has become increasingly apparent in recent years. Debates over traditional versus progressive interpretations of Church teachings have created deep divisions among the faithful. These disagreements aren't just academic exercises, they're tearing at the fabric of Catholic unity and challenging the authority of Church leadership. The idea of a great apostasy mentioned in Fatima-related prophecies seems to be unfolding before our eyes. Father Alonso, a key figure in Fatima studies, suggested that the unpublished part of the Third Secret refers to a crisis of faith and the negligence of Church leaders. This internal struggle within the Church itself is perhaps the most insidious threat to the faith, as it erodes trust and creates confusion among believers. Equally alarming is the decline in religious adherence in traditionally Catholic countries. Statistics paint a grim picture of a faith in retreat. Many people who once identified as Catholic now consider themselves unaffiliated or have rejected organized religion altogether. This trend isn't isolated. It's part of a broader wave of secularization sweeping across the globe. Interestingly, this decline in faith isn't a recent phenomenon. It's been observed since the 1960s, coinciding with Sister Lucia's statement that the Third Secret would become clearer after that time. The timing is uncanny, suggesting that the prophecies of Fatima are unfolding in real time, with each passing year bringing the warnings into sharper focus. As we witness these troubling signs, it's natural to wonder, how does the Third Secret predict this crisis of faith in the Church? The answer may lie in the symbolic nature of the vision and the urgency of its message. The image of a bishop climbing a mountain amidst ruins could symbolize the Church's struggle to maintain its teachings in a world increasingly hostile to faith. The arrows and bullets striking the faithful might represent the attacks on belief coming from both within and outside the Church. Experts have noted that the Third Secret's warnings about the Church's future are not merely historical reflections. They're increasingly relevant as current events unfold, suggesting a fulfillment of these prophecies in today's context. The crisis of faith we're witnessing may well be the realization of what was foreseen over a century ago in Fatima. Yet even in this dire situation, the message of Fatima offers a glimmer of hope. It emphasizes the need for prayer and penance as remedies against the impending crisis. This suggests that the faithful have a role to play in countering the predicted apostasy. Through active engagement in these spiritual practices, believers may yet turn the tide against the forces threatening to undermine the Church from within. But amidst the darkness, a light of hope remains. For while the Church faces unprecedented challenges, the Fatima prophecies also speak of ultimate triumph. As we grapple with this unfolding crisis, we must ask ourselves, what role will we play in this cosmic struggle for the soul of the Church? While churches across Europe stand empty, one nation defies the trend. Portugal's devotion to Catholicism remains unwavering, but is it mere coincidence or part of a greater divine plan? The story of Portugal's unique role in preserving the faith is about to unfold, and it's more astonishing than you might think. At the heart of this mystery lies a century-old prophecy whispered by the Virgin Mary to 3 young shepherds in Fatima. Among her revelations was a startling promise. Portugal would preserve the dogma of faith even as other nations succumbed to the rising tide of secularism. Today, as we witness the fulfillment of this prophecy, the world watches in awe as this small Iberian nation stands firm against the currents of disbelief sweeping across Europe. The contrast between Portugal and its European neighbors is stark. While countries like France and Germany grapple with dwindling church attendance and a growing indifference to religious traditions, Portugal's faith remains vibrant and alive. The statistics tell a compelling story. Portugal boasts a higher percentage of regular churchgoers compared to other European nations, a testament to the enduring strength of Catholicism in the country's national identity. But what makes Portugal's faith so resilient? The answer lies in the unique aspects of Portuguese Catholicism, deeply rooted in centuries of tradition and devotion. At the heart of this fervent faith is an unwavering devotion to the Virgin Mary, a cultural cornerstone that shapes the spiritual landscape of the nation. This Marian devotion is not merely a theological concept, but a living, breathing part of Portuguese life, manifested in countless ways throughout the year. Perhaps nowhere is this devotion more evident than in the annual pilgrimages to the shrine of Our Lady of Fatima. Each year, millions of pilgrims flock to this sacred site, their numbers dwarfing the population of many small countries. The sight of thousands kneeling in prayer, candles flickering in the night, is a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of faith in Portugal. But Fatima is just one piece of a larger tapestry of devotion. Across Portugal, the rhythms of religious life beat strong. The widespread practice of the Rosary and the celebration of First Saturdays, both integral to the message of Fatima, form the backbone of spiritual life for many Portuguese Catholics. These practices, far from being relics of the past, are seen as vital components of a living faith, offering strength and guidance in an increasingly uncertain world. As we look to the future, the question on many minds is clear. What role will Portugal play in preserving the faith during these tumultuous times? Many experts believe that Portugal's significance extends far beyond its borders. They suggest that the country may serve as a spiritual lighthouse, offering hope and inspiration to Catholics worldwide as they navigate the choppy waters of modern secularism. The ongoing devotion to Our Lady of Fatima is viewed by many as a source of strength, not just for Portugal, but for the global Catholic community. In a world where faith is often challenged or dismissed, the unwavering belief of the Portuguese people serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring power of religious conviction. Yet as Portugal stands firm in its faith, we must remember that the battle between good and evil rages on. The prophecies of Fatima speak not just of preservation, but of a cosmic struggle that will shape the fate of humanity. As we marvel at Portugal's steadfast devotion, we're left to wonder, what role will this beacon of faith play in the greater drama unfolding on the world stage? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The eyes of the faithful around the world are turning to Portugal, watching and waiting for the next chapter in this extraordinary story to unfold. While Portugal stands as a beacon of faith, dark forces gather strength in the shadows. The Third Secret speaks of a decisive battle between good and evil, but its true nature remains shrouded in mystery. What if this cosmic struggle is already unfolding before our very eyes, hidden in plain sight amidst the chaos of our modern world? The concept of a cosmic battle between good and evil lies at the heart of the Fatima prophecies. This isn't just a metaphorical struggle, but a real, tangible conflict that threatens to engulf humanity. The Third Secret paints a vivid picture of this battle, one that goes beyond national borders and individual beliefs to encompass the very fate of our souls. As we look around the world today, evidence of this spiritual warfare seems to be mounting. Global conflicts rage on multiple fronts, while moral decay seeps into the fabric of society. The rise of secularism, the breakdown of traditional values, and the growing indifference to spiritual matters all point to a world teetering on the brink of a moral abyss. But are these merely symptoms of societal change or signs of a deeper, more sinister force at work? At the center of this cosmic drama stands a chilling image from the Third Secret, an angel with a flaming sword. This powerful symbol, reminiscent of the Guardian of Eden, takes on new significance in the context of Fatima. The angel's sword, described as emitting flames that threaten to set the world ablaze, represents divine judgment and an urgent call for repentance. It's a stark warning of the consequences that await a world that has turned its back on God. Yet, even in this dire vision, hope remains. The flames from the angel's sword are said to die out upon contact with the splendor radiating from the Virgin Mary. This imagery speaks to the protective power of Mary and the possibility of averting disaster through her intercession. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, the light of faith can prevail. The spiritual interpretation of world events takes on new meaning when viewed through the lens of this cosmic battle. What we perceive as political conflicts, social upheavals, or natural disasters may in fact be manifestations of a greater struggle playing out on a spiritual plane. The third secret suggests that the devil is engaged in a decisive battle against the Virgin Mary, with the souls of humanity hanging in the balance. As this battle rages, we're faced with a choice. The third secret speaks of a diabolical disorientation infiltrating even the highest levels of the church. This warning serves as a call to vigilance, urging believers to stand firm in their faith and discern the true nature of the forces at work in our world. The potential outcome of this cosmic struggle is both terrifying and hopeful. While the third secret warns of dire consequences for a world steeped in sin, it also offers the promise of ultimate triumph for those who remain faithful. The dual nature of judgment and mercy runs throughout the prophecy, reminding us that our actions and choices play a crucial role in shaping the outcome of this spiritual war. So how does the third secret truly describe this battle between good and evil? It paints a picture of a world at a crossroads where the forces of darkness seem to be gaining ground, but where the power of faith and intercession can still turn the tide. It's a call to arms for believers, not with weapons of steel, but with the spiritual armaments of prayer, penance, and unwavering faith. As we contemplate this cosmic struggle, we're left with a profound question. What role will we play in this battle for the soul of humanity? For in this conflict, Our Lady of Fatima offers a powerful message, one that could change the course of history itself. As the world teeters on the brink, a whisper from the past grows louder. The Virgin Mary's words at Fatima weren't just a warning, they were a blueprint for survival. What if the fate of humanity rests not on world leaders or advanced technology, but on a simple set of devotions? At the heart of Our Lady of Fatima's message lies a profound call to action. Mary's words, spoken over a century ago, carry an urgency that seems tailor-made for our turbulent times. She emphasized the critical importance of prayer and penance as essential responses to the world's moral decline. These practices, she declared, are the last remedies given by God to humanity, a spiritual lifeline extended to a world spiraling towards self-destruction. But Mary's message goes beyond general calls for prayer. She specifically requested consecration to her Immaculate Heart, a profound act of surrender and devotion that involves the entire person, family, or even nation. This consecration isn't a mere ritual, it's a transformative commitment that aligns believers with Mary's own perfect devotion to God. Central to the Fatima message is the concept of reparation for sins. Mary called for acts of reparation to alleviate the suffering caused by humanity's transgressions. This call takes concrete form in the First Saturday devotions, a practice that involves attending Mass, receiving communion, and meditating on the mysteries of the Rosary for 15 minutes. These acts are specifically aimed at making amends for the offenses against Mary's Immaculate Heart, offering a tangible way for believers to participate in the spiritual battle for souls. The Rosary itself is highlighted as a powerful weapon against evil. Mary stated that there is no problem, whether temporal or spiritual, that cannot be resolved through its recitation. This simple string of beads, when coupled with heartfelt prayer, becomes a channel for divine grace and protection. The urgency of Mary's call has been echoed by church leaders throughout the years. Pope John Paul II emphasize that her messages reflect a maternal concern for humanity's need for conversion and forgiveness. Pope Benedict XVI urged believers to embrace the call to sacrifice and reparation as a means of aligning with God's will. Both pontiffs recognize that these practices are not merely suggestions, but essential actions needed to avert divine chastisements and foster spiritual protection. As we contemplate Mary's urgent message, we're faced with a stark choice. The consequences of heeding or ignoring her words could be monumental. If Mary's warnings are true, then our individual and collective response to her call could literally change the course of history. The fate of souls, and perhaps even nations, may hang in the balance. So what is Our Lady of Fatima's urgent message for believers today? It's a call to spiritual arms, a plea for humanity to turn back to God through prayer, penance, and consecration. It's an invitation to participate in the redemption of the world through simple yet powerful acts of devotion. And it's a warning that our choices today have eternal consequences. But how does this century-old message relate to our modern world? As we grapple with global crises, moral decay, and spiritual indifference, Mary's words take on new relevance. Perhaps the answers to our most pressing problems don't lie in technological advancements or political solutions, but in a return to the timeless truths offered at Fatima. The question remains, will we heed the call before it's too late? While many dismiss prophecies as relics of a bygone era, recent world events paint a different picture. Could the chaos unfolding around us be more than coincidence? Some experts believe we're witnessing the fulfillment of Fatima's warnings in real time. The concept of prophetic fulfillment in current world events has gained traction among believers and scholars alike. As global crises multiply and moral decay seems to accelerate, many are turning to the Fatima prophecies for insight and guidance. The parallels between recent events and the warnings given over a century ago are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. One of the most striking connections lies in the ongoing crisis of faith within the Church itself. The Third Secret of Fatima is believed by many to announce today's struggles within Catholicism. Experts argue that the prophecy may have predicted a significant loss of faith and a great apostasy, aligning eerily with current trends of declining religious adherence in many parts of the world. This spiritual upheaval isn't limited to a single nation or region. It's a global phenomenon that seems to echo the warnings given at Fatima. The phrase in Portugal, "the dogma of faith will always be preserved," from Sister Lucia's memoirs, takes on new significance in this context. Some interpret this as an indication that the Third Secret addresses a crisis of faith that will affect many nations, suggesting a prophetic warning about the future of Christianity globally. As we witness the rapid secularization of traditionally Christian countries, this aspect of the prophecy seems more relevant than ever. Recent global crises have also been interpreted as manifestations of the warnings given in the Third Secret. Political unrest, moral decay, and the rise of secularism are seen by some as clear signs that the world is experiencing the consequences of ignoring these prophetic messages. The turmoil we see in the news daily may be more than just the typical ebb and flow of human affairs. It could be the unfolding of a divine plan foretold at Fatima. However, it's crucial to remember that the future is not set in stone. Cardinal Ratzinger, during the 2000 disclosure of the Third Secret, emphasized that the vision serves as a call to repentance and highlights the importance of human freedom. This suggests that while certain events may be prophesied, our response to these warnings can alter the course of history. The future, it seems, is not predetermined but shaped by our collective choices and actions. The ongoing crisis of faith within the Church, characterized by internal conflicts and doctrinal disputes, is seen by many as a fulfillment of the Third Secret's warnings about the infiltration of evil within the Church hierarchy. This internal struggle, perhaps more than any external threat, aligns with the prophecies of Fatima and underscores the urgency of Mary's call for prayer and penance. As these signs multiply, we're left to ponder their significance for the future of the Church and humanity as a whole. The message of Fatima, particularly the call for prayer and penance, is viewed as increasingly urgent in light of current global challenges. Many believe that these practices are essential to avert the prophesied chastisements and bring about the spiritual renewal promised in the Fatima message. How are recent global events connected to the Fatima prophecies? The answer seems to lie in the striking parallels between the warnings given at Fatima and the challenges we face today. From the crisis of faith within the Church to the moral decay in society at large, the signs of prophetic fulfillment are becoming harder to ignore. As these connections become clearer, we're left with a pressing question. What do these unfolding events mean for the future of the Church and our world? The answer may lie in our response to the urgent call for prayer, penance, and spiritual renewal that echoes through the decades from Fatima to our present day. The crisis of faith we're witnessing may be just the beginning. What if the third secret of Fatima predicts an even greater upheaval within the Church itself? Cardinals opposing cardinals, bishops against bishops. These aren't just metaphors, but chilling prophecies that some believe are already unfolding before our eyes. The third secret of Fatima has long been associated with dire warnings about the future of the Catholic Church. While the full text remains a subject of debate, experts believe it contains crucial insights into the trials and triumphs that await the faithful. These prophecies paint a picture of a church facing unprecedented challenges, both from within and without. One of the most alarming aspects of these warnings is the potential for schisms and doctrinal confusion within the Church. Cardinal Ratzinger, who would later become Pope Benedict XVI, hinted at this in 1984 when he spoke about the dangers threatening the faith and life of Christians. He suggested that the third secret addresses a potential doctrinal apostasy, manifesting as a denial of fundamental truths of Christianity. This internal struggle, pitting clergy against clergy, threatens to tear at the very fabric of Catholic unity. The prophecies also speak of a time of persecution for the Church. This isn't just about external threats, but a purification process that will test the faith of believers to its core. The concept of a purification of the Church is prevalent in many interpretations of the third secret. It suggests that the trials ahead will serve to cleanse the Church, removing corruption and strengthening the faith of those who remain true to its teachings. Intriguingly, many experts believe that these challenges will lead to the emergence of a smaller, more faithful Church. This remnant, forged in the fires of tribulation, will stand as a beacon of hope in a world increasingly hostile to traditional Christian values. It's a sobering yet inspiring vision of a Church that, though reduced in numbers, burns brighter with unwavering faith and devotion. Despite these dire warnings, the Fatima message doesn't end in despair. At the heart of these prophecies lies a promise of ultimate triumph. The faithful are assured that after a period of great trials, the Church will emerge victorious. This triumph is often associated with the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, a key element of the Fatima message that continues to be a source of hope and controversy. So what warnings about the Church's future are hidden in the third secret? While the full extent remains shrouded in mystery, it's clear that the message speaks of a time of great upheaval and purification. It warns of internal strife, doctrinal confusion, and external persecution. Yet it also offers hope, promising that those who remain faithful will witness the ultimate triumph of good over evil. As these prophecies unfold before our eyes, believers are left with a pressing question. How can we prepare for the challenges ahead? The answer, according to the Fatima message, lies in prayer, penance, and unwavering faith. It's a call to spiritual arms, urging the faithful to stand firm in their beliefs and to actively participate in the renewal of the Church through their devotion and sacrifice. In the face of these prophecies, the future of the Catholic Church stands at a crossroads. The path ahead may be fraught with difficulties, but it also holds the promise of a purified and reinvigorated faith. As we contemplate these warnings and promises, one thing becomes clear. The choices we make today will shape the Church of tomorrow. How will we respond to this divine call to action? Amidst the prophecies of turmoil and tribulation, a beacon of hope shines through. It's not a new technology or a revolutionary ideology, but an age-old practice with astonishing power. The Fatima message speaks of a spiritual shield, a form of divine protection accessible to all. Yet surprisingly few have fully embraced it. What makes this spiritual armor so effective, and why has it remained a hidden treasure for so long? Our Lady of Fatima's message isn't just a warning, it's a spiritual survival guide for the coming storm. At its core lies a call to spiritual preparedness, a concept that goes beyond mere belief to encompass a way of life. This preparedness isn't about stockpiling supplies or building bunkers. It's about fortifying the soul against the challenges that lie ahead. The path of faith has never been easy. The times prophesied at Fatima present unique challenges. Believers may face ridicule, persecution, and the temptation to abandon their faith in the face of a world increasingly hostile to spiritual values. The message of Fatima acknowledges these struggles but offers a powerful antidote, a set of spiritual practices designed to strengthen faith and provide divine protection. At the heart of this spiritual preparation are prayer and penance, described by Our Lady as the last two remedies which signify that there will not be others. These aren't mere suggestions, but essential practices for spiritual survival. The daily recitation of the Rosary, in particular, is emphasized as a powerful weapon against evil. Our Lady stated that there is no problem, temporal or spiritual, that cannot be resolved through this simple yet profound prayer. Consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary stands as a cornerstone of the Fatima message. This act of devotion involves entrusting one's entire being to Mary's care and protection. It's a profound spiritual commitment that aligns believers with Mary's perfect devotion to God, offering a channel for divine grace and protection in times of trial. The practice of the First Saturday devotions offers another practical step for living out the Fatima message. This monthly observance, which includes confession, communion, and meditation on the Rosary's mysteries, is a powerful act of reparation for sins against the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Sister Lucia, one of the Fatima visionaries, noted that while many souls begin these devotions, few finish them, highlighting the importance of perseverance in spiritual practices. Those who embrace these devotions often report experiencing a profound sense of peace and protection, even in the midst of life's storms. Testimonies abound of individuals attributing personal blessings and spiritual growth to their commitment to the Fatima message. These practices aren't just about individual benefit, they're seen as crucial for averting disasters and achieving the conversion of sinners on a global scale. So how can prayer and devotion protect us during these prophesied times? The answer lies in the spiritual transformation these practices bring about. By aligning ourselves with God's will through Mary's intercession, we open ourselves to divine grace and protection. The Fatima devotions act as a spiritual shield, fortifying our souls against the temptations and trials that threaten to shake our faith. As we near the climax of this cosmic drama, the signs become clearer. The message of Fatima stands as a timeless guide, offering not just warnings but a path to spiritual victory. Those who heed this call to spiritual preparedness may find themselves not just surviving the coming trials, but emerging stronger in faith and closer to the divine. The choice to embrace this spiritual armor lies with each of us, but the promise of protection and ultimate triumph awaits those who answer the call. For decades, the Third Secret of Fatima has been a subject of speculation and mystery. But what if the veil is now being lifted, revealing a shocking truth about our current times? Recent events have left experts stunned, pointing to an eerie alignment between today's headlines and the century-old prophecy. As we enter 2025, many are observing global problems and wondering if these are signs that the Third Secret of Fatima is coming true. The prophecy, long shrouded in mystery, seems to be unfolding before our eyes with an urgency that's impossible to ignore. Experts have noted that the Third Secret warns of a great apostasy, where many will abandon their faith, and this has been observed in the increasing secularization and loss of religious adherence in traditionally Catholic countries. The interpretation of the Third Secret as a prophecy that began to unfold in 1960 is gaining traction. Sister Lucia herself stated that it would be clearer from that time onward, suggesting a progressive loss of faith in the world. This timeline aligns disturbingly well with the cultural and spiritual shifts we've witnessed over the past 6 decades. Recent global events have sent shockwaves through the faithful community, with many seeing direct connections to the Fatima prophecies. The vision described in the Third Secret includes apocalyptic imagery, such as a bishop dressed in white falling under gunfire. Some interpret this as a foreshadowing of future events affecting the Church and its leaders, a warning that seems increasingly relevant in our turbulent times. Cardinal Ratzinger's words during the presentation of the Third Secret in 2000 take on new significance today. He emphasized that the vision of the bishop in white symbolizes the struggles faced by the Church, indicating that the future is not set in stone and can change based on human actions and repentance. This interpretation suggests that we are living through the very trials foretold at Fatima, with our responses shaping the outcome of the prophecy. The urgency of the Fatima message is underscored by the belief that the world is experiencing a grace period for repentance. But this period may soon come to an end. Many experts believe that we are witnessing the acceleration of prophetic fulfillment, with each passing day bringing new signs that align with the warnings given at Fatima. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of the Third Secret's unfolding lies in the assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II. The Pope himself attributed his survival to the intercession of Our Lady of Fatima, suggesting a direct link between the prophecy and real-world events. This connection between the vision and historical reality serves as a powerful reminder that the Third Secret is not just a relic of the past, but a living prophecy with ongoing relevance. As we grapple with the implications of these unfolding events, a critical question emerges. What signs indicate that the Third Secret is already coming true? The answer lies in the convergence of multiple factors: the crisis of faith within the Church, the increasing hostility towards religious values in society, and the tumultuous events shaking the foundations of our world order. Each of these elements aligns chillingly well with the warnings given at Fatima, suggesting that we are indeed witnessing the fulfillment of the prophecy in real time. As the prophecy unfolds, a stark choice faces humanity. The message of Fatima, particularly the call for prayer and penance, is seen as a crucial response to the current crises. Many believe that these practices can avert potential disasters foretold in the Third Secret. The urgency of this call to action has never been clearer, as the signs of prophetic fulfillment multiply around us. As signs of the prophecy's fulfillment surround us, a startling realization emerges. Could the world's fate hinge on a simple act that most have forgotten? The Virgin Mary's message at Fatima holds a key that might unlock humanity's salvation, but time is running out. The urgency of the Fatima message has never been more apparent. As global crises multiply and faith wanes, the warnings given over a century ago resonate with chilling clarity. Our Lady's words, once whispered to 3 young shepherds, now thunder across time, demanding our attention. This isn't just a historical curiosity or a religious fable, it's a blueprint for survival in an increasingly chaotic world. But what happens if we turn a deaf ear to these divine warnings? The consequences could be catastrophic. Sister Lucia, one of the Fatima visionaries, stated that the Most Holy Virgin is very sad because no one has paid any attention to her message, neither the good nor the bad. This divine sorrow hints at the gravity of our collective indifference. Ignoring Fatima's call could lead to the very chastisements the prophecies warn against, wars, persecutions, and a great apostasy that could shake the church to its core. The response to Fatima's warnings isn't just a matter for church leaders or the particularly devout. It's a call to action for every individual, a personal invitation to participate in the spiritual battle of our times. Our Lady emphasized that the 2 means to save the world are prayer and sacrifice. These simple yet powerful acts are within reach of every person, regardless of their status or circumstances. The power of prayer and penance to mitigate prophesied chastisements shouldn't be underestimated. History offers compelling examples of collective spiritual responses averting disaster. The widespread adoption of the Rosary and First Saturday devotions, specifically requested by Our Lady of Fatima, has been credited with spiritual protections and even geopolitical shifts. Pope John Paul II's survival of an assassination attempt, which he attributed to Our Lady of Fatima's intervention, stands as a powerful testimony to the efficacy of these practices. As we stand at this cosmic crossroads, each of us has a role to play. The choice to embrace or ignore Fatima's message could tip the scales in this spiritual battle. Our Lady's call for reparation isn't just a suggestion, it's a lifeline extended to a world teetering on the brink of self-destruction. The faithful are urged to see themselves not as passive observers, but as active participants in this unfolding drama of cosmic proportions. What shocking consequences await those who ignore Fatima's warnings? Beyond the prophesied chastisements, there's a spiritual cost that's equally devastating. Turning away from this divine message means rejecting a powerful means of grace and protection. It's choosing to face the storms ahead without the spiritual armor offered by Our Lady. The consequences could be felt not just in this life, but in eternity. The choice now lies with each of us. Will we heed the call of Fatima, embracing prayer and penance as our weapons in this spiritual battle? Or will we continue down the path of indifference, risking the very consequences Our Lady came to help us avoid? As the signs of prophetic fulfillment multiply around us, the urgency of this decision becomes ever clearer. The fate of souls, and perhaps the world itself, may hinge on our response to this final warning. As we've explored the depths of the Third Secret of Fatima, one truth emerges with startling clarity. This isn't just a relic of the past or a vision of a distant future. It's an urgent call to action right now, in this very moment. The choice lies before us. Will we heed Our Lady's warnings, embracing prayer and penance as our spiritual armor? Or will we risk facing the storms ahead unprotected? The consequences of our decision could ripple through eternity. Yet even in these turbulent times, hope shines brightly. For those who embrace the Fatima message, a powerful promise awaits: divine protection and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. The path to spiritual victory is open to all who answer this heavenly call.